Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about 5 modifications that we've had done to our Volkswagen crafted campervan, and these modifications are modifications that I never thought that we needed. One of the modifications that we've had done to our campervan is last year we had an awning fitted because we went to Europe. Now that Europe trip, it didn't turn out how we wanted it to. The weather was crazy over there. We ended up coming home early. But we do have the awning. Now the good thing is we're going on a road trip soon, and we know that we're going to be using this awning a lot. For so many years on so many road trips, the amount of times that we've had to sit in the van, because like I said, until last year, which means that we didn't have an awning for about 7 years, every time it was hot and sunny and things, we just basically had to stay in the van and sit there with like cooling fans and things to keep cool. So I would say it's a modification. Like I say, we didn't get it until we had the van for such a long time. It's a modification that I would recommend that if you're going to be doing lots of travel, get an awning fitted. Second modification that we've had done to the van that we thought that we never needed, again because we've only had these fitted recently, it's these extra spotlights that we've got on the front of our van. Now one thing that we do when we travel a lot, we do a lot of well camping, and when you're well camping, chances are that you're going to be like in a lot of areas that are kind of like off the beaten like path and things. That means that like there's going to be times when you're going to need extra lighting. Now we found this out when we was in France last year. We had a bit of a nightmare, to be honest with you, when we couldn't find somewhere to park and things, and we ended up like going off the beaten path and everything. And do you know what, having these lights came in so handy. So again, if you're thinking about getting like a camp van and doing some modifications to it, I definitely think about getting some upgraded sort of like powerful lights that are going to help you when you travel. The thing is as well, you don't need to go overboard. I've seen some people that have got like crazy lighting on the van and things, but I guess depending on what type of travel you're doing, things like that may be handy. But like I said, having some extra ones, it works very well. Okay, so the third modification that we've had done to our camper van, and this is one that I would really say that like a lot of people, again, if you're doing like a lot of well camping and going to go exploring and like going off the beaten path and everything, it's getting some wheels that are going to be suitable for like sort of like all-terrain driving. Example I'm going to tell you about us having these wheels that really helped us out. Not long ago we was in Scotland, and it was like in winter, and it was a really like snowy season for Scotland, even for like Scotland, you know what I mean? And the thing is, like having these wheels, we was already in Scotland, but having these wheels, it snowed, it was really deep, and do you know what, if we didn't have these wheels, because without them we would have been stuck. We've seen so many vehicles that were stuck in things, and like I said, having these uprated wheels and upgraded tyres and things, it really helped us. One thing that I will say, because a popular question we get asked about these wheels all the time, does it affect the noise and the handling of the van? I can honestly say, since we've had these, it makes no difference. Now a lot of people ask about the miles per gallons difference. Do you know what, for us the miles per gallon is like so minimal, it's kind of like, it's hard to actually measure. Now I do say that like some people do say that it uses like more fuel having these tyres, but like I said, it's not something that we've ever noticed. And this is the power station that we genuinely use on a day-to-day basis when we're out camping and things. It's the All Powers R600 600 watt power station. One thing that I'm impressed with about this power station is like, when you've charged like your devices and things, and you've got everything like charged up, it doesn't use a lot of power. It's not like it drains a lot of power when you're using it. And the good thing is it's got like a light on here as well. One of the things that makes this power station like really good for us to use is it's the carrying handle. It's such a handy thing to have that just folds away. Good thing for us about having this all powers power station as well is we can use it indoors as well, with 2 AC outputs, 2 fast USB-A's and 2 USB-C's. You also have your cigarette lighter adapter as well, and you can plug into here as well. From 0 to 100%, it only takes an hour to charge these up. And again, this is why we do use these on a regular basis, because if we're at a campsite and want to get a quick charge on this, we can do. Also, you can quick charge with solar as well, and you get a cigarette adapter with these as well that you can plug in while you're driving, and that gives it a boost as well. We have used the solar, and there's many different options that you can have to plug into solar, and also you can wirelessly charge your devices there too. I don't need to show you how to charge things up, you just simply plug them in, but you can see there's so many different charging points that you can plug them all into at the same time. I'll put a link in the description for anyone that's interested in the All Powers R600 power station. Okay, so the fourth modification that we've got, again, it's something that I never thought that I ever needed until I got them. It's these sidebars that we've got that we fitted ourselves. Now with a van like this, because it's quite high up and things, having something like this At the time when we didn't have them, it didn't really affect us because, you know, when we step in the van we'd have to like step up higher and things. But now that we've got these fitted, we found that it's so much easier now, like, to get into the van. It's a lot more comfortable and things. So again, this is another modification that it's not something that we ever thought that we needed, but then when we got them and we realised that it makes things so much easier to get in and out the van, especially when you load in, you know, like all your camping gear in and out. They come in so handy, and you know what? Again, this is something that I would really recommend if you're thinking about getting a camper van. Now, there's just one thing worth mentioning if you ever do think about fitting something like this. We found that on the passenger side, when you fit these bars, that the bracket, it actually goes, and like it even shows it in the fitting instructions how to do it. It fits into the jacking point. Now, what we've done is we've done a modification, because when we went to Volkswagen Oldham to get some work done, they couldn't put it on the ramp because I fitted these out, you know, ourselves. And you know, when it was fitted onto the jacking point, they couldn't get the ramp underneath. Now, what we had to do is we had to modify it and basically had to like cut that bracket off. But there is other brackets that are near it that allows you to give the stability. So just be wary if you are looking at something like this. Just do check about the fitting of them, because like I said, I found out when we went to Volkswagen Oldham that, you know, it couldn't get on the ramp. So do look at that. They are relatively easy to fit as well. Just don't do it in winter like I did, because I really struggled because it was so cold. Okay, so the fifth modification that we've had done to our camper van. Now the thing is, we did do this with our older camper van as well that we had before, because they come in so handy. And you know what, if you've got a camper van, I really do suggest that you get something like this, because it helps so much. And that is the wind deflectors. Now the good thing is about having wind deflectors is, obviously if it's raining and things, you can have the window down a little bit and the rain, it doesn't come inside. Now this works really well, because if it's warm or you want some fresh air when you're camping and things, especially if you're on a campsite, you can just wind your window down a little bit and it allows the air to come in and you don't have to worry about the rain or anything. So this is something that for us, we class this as an essential, because we had it on our other camper van, and it's the first modification that we got done when we got our van. Guys, straight to the point on this video, we just told you about the 5 modifications that we thought that we never ever needed, but we got them done, and you know what? We couldn't be without them now. There is so many more other things that we've had done with the van that, you know, we could tell you about, but that's for another video. Put it in the comments below, what modifications have you had done to your camper van that you would consider that are essential? So it'd be interesting to see what you guys think. So